International experts warn of China's new tactic to advance its malicious policies in foreign and domestic affairs. One America's Kristian Rouz has more.
We also stand firmly against a disturbing pattern of aggressive behavior, destabilizing behavior from China.
Mainland China employs a new tactic in attempts to advance its political agenda in the Asia-Pacific and beyond. From the million-strong anti-communist protests in Hong Kong to the mounting trade tensions with the US, a military standoff with Taiwan, and ongoing dispute in the South China Sea, China appears to be taking its time and refraining from any decisive actions. International security experts say Beijing is planning to wait in hopes the resistance to its policies fades over time.
Perhaps the best option here for Beijing is just to wait it all out.
But yeah, as you say, it's morphed into something much bigger, but we've seen that pressure building over many years.
A flurry of recent reports, citing numerous policy analysts, have suggested China is still committed to advancing its foreign policy and trade agenda without changing its questionable methods. But what's new is Beijing has realized foreign leaders change as a result of democratic elections, while China expects its communist government to remain in place for decades to come. In this light, China believes it will get what it wants, from a US trade deal to full control of Hong Kong, once President Trump is out of the office.
The profile of the central government in Beijing has been pretty low during this period. I think partly China's being relatively low profile, not just because of international scrutiny, but because of a calculation that doing something tougher might actually make the situation worse.
But while Beijing's new wait-and-see tactic may be working in domestic affairs, it remains unclear how long China can afford to wait on more pressing issues. The mainland's economy is bleeding cash as a result of a trade standoff with the US, as well as America's most recent decision to designate China as currency manipulator.
Their currency is going to hell. China has to do a lot of things to turn it around, but you'll be seeing.
Additionally, US allies in Southeast Asia are quickly bolstering their militaries to stand up to Beijing's ambitions in the South China Sea. Meanwhile, Taiwan recently held large-scale military drills, simulating an invasion by the communist forces. And more importantly, in Hong Kong, millions of protesters are saying they are now prepared to die as they fight for the civil rights granted by the British Crown.
It proves that Xi and her government are morally bankrupt. What's been happening here is the lack of justice in this community.
China is still hopeful it can ignore the international condemnation of its ill-conceived trade policies, political repressions and military threats. But rising resentment to the Communist Party's agenda, along with a dramatic economic slowdown, may suggest Beijing could run out of time sooner than it thinks. Kristian Rouz, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.